level. I'm a rival line up cause I'm a top rebel. Look in my eyes, this is my time. Step up, rise up, strike first, bring it on.
Hello, this is the 5th episode. Not first, second, third, or fourth. 5th episode of Remus Talks. You really want me to talk about it, don't you? Never put her name onto the polls before until now. And came up with 60% of the votes. You want me to destroy Lawrence verbally? Check. Now you want me to destroy Catherine verbally? Well, I may have to disappoint you there. For though I do have my problems with her, I don't actually hate her. Though, I'll make it all clear in a second. Also, just before we do start, Lawrence, it doesn't matter what you do for our match. It doesn't matter if you keep taking people in, putting people out, changing whatever the match is. It does not matter what you do. You want to keep changing it? Fine. The outcome will always be the same, and there is not a single thing that you can do about it. Do you understand me? Good. Now, on to the lady in question, the Black Widow. Now, this is usually where I'd start from the beginning and talk through how I interacted with her in the company, but actually, we didn't really have that much interaction to start with. It was more, I observed her in the matches that she had when I first started out, which would be early spring last year. And there is no doubt that she is talented. There is no doubt that she has what it takes to be able to hold on to that women's championship, despite the fact that during that time there were pretty much no women in the division, so who could she defend it against? It was a meaningless title at the time. And I did call her out on that, as well as literally everyone else. This was not an opinion that I had formed myself. This was an opinion that many people had formed. Now, I kept watching her matches. I kept seeing how she carried herself. And everybody could agree on the same thing. She wasn't proving herself to anyone beyond the point that she had captured that women's championship, because the only person that she ever seemed to fight whilst I was around was Mr. Smiley. Mr. Smiley. Yeah. That piece of scum. The weakest of all wrestlers. I guess that means that there's at least one person who's worse than you, Daniel. Though I do have my gripe with you on that, Catherine. And I don't know if many people will remember this, but do you remember when you got brainwashed by Mr. Smiley, of all people, Mrs. Smiley? Do you remember that? Do you remember when he made a mockery of you in the ring? Because I do. I thought to myself, what an absolute, utter disgrace that you had allowed that to happen to you. Of all the people that could have got the better of you on that day, Mr. Smiley got the better of you. Round of applause, round of applause. Sure, you might have got the pin on him, and you might have beaten him in every other match that there ever has been with you two, but you shouldn't have got to that position in the first place. And calm. And I kept watching, and a part of me felt as if, you didn't want the competition around. You didn't want any female competition for your belt. And the way you were carrying yourself at the time with your very egotistical standing, or what appeared to be egotistical, certainly could have made that true. But the more I looked, the more I realised that actually that wasn't the case. You are wanting a challenge. You're wanting someone to come and give you a hard time in holding that belt. You are wanting someone to make you seem like as if you are worth your while. Now, I don't know if you'll have noticed, but I did try to do that for you. And I'm not talking about me. No, I'm talking about Lilith. Yes, the Dark Assassin. When she came to Belial wanting to join us, she gained power beyond belief. And a lot of us thought that she was actually going to go out there and give you the challenge that you needed. And if you lost your belt, it just meant you weren't strong enough. Although, seeing as Lilith doesn't even show to matches anymore, we can't rely upon her as a useful asset. Sorry, Lilith. Unless you start proving yourself, we're going to have to cut you off. But then I thought, why not just take it into my own hands? Prove your worth by myself attacking you. And I must say, you didn't disappoint. If anything, you lived up to my expectations and even more. So congratulations. This is about the time that you went up against people like Dylan Pickin, who defeated you, and Jekyll, who you defeated. And I do have to say, he's impressed. I am impressed, but Belial is impressed. He's been looking for someone like you for quite some time. And I'd feel honoured that his eyes are set upon you. I've just been testing you out. I've just been seeing if you were worth the time. So, don't worry about anything else. I'll still come and fight you because I'm still waiting for that match between us, but it's really Belial who has the most amount of interest in you, and, well, if you decide to look him up, you'll know exactly why he's looking at you. But, again, I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you to a match of your choosing, on your date of choosing. Obviously, it cannot be the next show, for I have to defend my Sheffield title. But any other time, I am quite happy to accept your challenge. Or rather, for you to accept mine. Oh, but wait. No, it won't happen, will it? Not because you won't let it happen, no, but rather because of Lawrence. Lawrence does love to coddle you, doesn't he? He loves to hold you away from proving that you are one of the best wrestlers in SWF. To hold you away from having a good challenge, because he believes that you cannot handle that sort of challenge. He believes that he has to protect you all the time. He believes he has to be the White Knight in this situation, which is oh so very noble, Lawrence. Oh so noble. But I believe Catherine can look after herself, don't you? Well, of course not. Of course you don't. Of course you don't. It's why you've never allowed her to have as good a challenge as I. To put her against individuals like Jekyll, Mr. Smiley, Dylan Pickin. You don't even trust her to be able to look after herself. How sad is that? But my challenge shall remain open. So I'll wait for you in that, Catherine. Oh. And in case you thought that wasn't enough, I've been getting some very good news, so you might want to perk your ears up some some more so. Because you see, I've been hearing rumours about a load of new women coming into SWF, and obviously there was the incident that you had at Redemption where you were openly challenged by another individual. Sorry, I don't remember your name. Must not be that important. But there was one name that I definitely remember as being important, and I've looked up about her, and I don't know anything about that girl who challenged you, but there's no way she could be a challenge to this individual. You see, this individual was raised in a family where she was always considered the lowest of them, and they believed themselves to be stronger. But actually, she proved them all wrong. She proved that she was the toughest, not just in her family, not just in her extended family, but the toughest of anyone that she's ever come across. And she's recently been keeping an eye on SWF. And it's more than likely that she's looking for that belt. And she's going to prove herself in matches to get to you. How she's going to do that, I don't know. But if everything I know about her is true, you're going to be in for one hell of a time, Catherine. Think of it as a mixture of a warning and a promise. After all, I am keen to see this individual herself, who I'm more than certain will make her presence known to you in her own time. That's if you decide to take my word on someone else coming into this equation. You don't have to believe me. But when have I ever been wrong about something like this? There's a destiny for you, Catherine. A destiny that you quite aren't aware of yet. And you need to follow that destiny, whether you like that or not. And I'm going to be there every step of the way to make sure you get to it. Whether that means you're holding the title or not is irrelevant at this point. And there's nothing you can do, Lawrence, to prevent this, or anybody else. Just remember that. After all, what Belial wants, Belial gets. And he's a very patient individual. Leave a like, share, and subscribe. And click up here. So you can vote on who I should speak about next. Or, if you'd like something a little bit different, comment down below. And if there's any event in particular, or anything that happened recently that you want to know more about, or if it's a Q&A that you're wanting me to partake in, which I hardly ever do, but I do love the attention, then just comment down below. And the top rated ones will be the ones that gain my attention. This has been the 5th Remus Talks episode, and I will see you all in the next episode.